In a world that demands constant self-justification, there is a quiet power in the refusal to explain oneself. This is the paradox at the heart of ancient Stoicism, and one Jung, Nietzsche, and even Machiavelli understood deeply. That true strength doesn't shout, it doesn't justify, it doesn't chase approval. It stands, silent and immovable. While the modern world insists, explain yourself, defend yourself, prove yourself, the wise answer with something far more unsettling and far more powerful. You explain, you justify, you send long messages and over-clarify every move. And somehow, the more you explain yourself, the less they respect you. This video is about turning Stoic philosophy into a weapon of self-possession, dignity, and quiet authority. How to stop explaining yourself and let your presence, your choices, and your consistency speak louder than any paragraph you could ever write. Drawing on Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and the sharp edge of modern psychology, we're going to break down the Stoic rule that quietly commands respect in every room. Prove with action, command with stillness. In this video, you'll learn why over-explaining secretly lowers your perceived value, the Stoic mindset that makes you immune to other people's opinions, how to respond when someone misunderstands you on purpose, when to give a calm explanation, and when silence is more powerful. A simple rule to follow the next time you're tempted to send a long paragraph. Welcome to PhiloThrone, where we turn philosophy into self-mastery. Sit on the throne of your own mind, a figure who talks endlessly. His words are weapons. He justifies, spins, explains, recalibrates. Every sentence is a rope thrown to control perception. The Nietzschean Übermensch calm, unmoving, self-contained. He doesn't explain not because he's evasive, but because he stands so thoroughly within his own conviction that the world's reactions feel like background noise, intercuts. It's almost unnerving. Because silence, real silence, makes people reveal who they truly are. And this sets up the core idea. Through Machiavelli, Nietzsche, and Jung, we explore a paradox. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you appear. The less you explain yourself, the more powerful you become. Machiavelli warns in The Prince that rulers who explain themselves too often lose authority. Nietzsche tells us that the Übermensch transcends the need for approval entirely. And Jung reveals why society pressures us into constant justification, because the collective unconscious fears anyone who steps outside the norm. Let us deep dive into this. 1. The tyranny of explanation. We live in an age where everyone must have a statement, a clarification, a thread, a note, a reason. Every behavior must be justified. Every choice must be explained. Silence is treated like guilt. This is the tyranny of self-explanation. It erodes authority because it places you in a reactive position, always responding, defending, adjusting. In ancient philosophy, the wise never did this. Stoics believed that one's actions should speak louder than explanations. If you performed your duty, why justify it? But today, every silence is interpreted as suspicious. Every pause is an accusation. Every private moment is seen as a threat. We are drowning in explanations and losing ourselves in the process. 2. The mask of the manipulator. Machiavelli understood that those who explain themselves constantly are not honest. They are dangerous. Explaining is often a tactic of control. A manipulator spins narratives endlessly because silence exposes them. Silence leaves them vulnerable. Silence forces them to be seen rather than heard. And a manipulator cannot survive simply being seen. They need distraction, noise, confusion. By contrast, a powerful individual doesn't chase narrative control. Their presence is the narrative. Machiavelli's warning is simple. The more a person explains, the more their motives should be questioned. 3. The Stoic silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is mastery. To the Stoics, self-possession meant speaking only when necessary, not to defend pride or soothe insecurity. Marcus Aurelius rarely justified himself. Epictetus taught that explanations are for those who doubt their own integrity. True Stoic power is the ability to say, "I know who I am. My actions will reveal the rest." This silence is not passive. It is a deliberate act of strength. And in a world addicted to noise, silence becomes rebellious, revolutionary, commanding. 4. The Nietzschean Übermensch. Nietzsche's Übermensch is not a brute. He is not concerned with domination. He is concerned with self-mastery. The Übermensch does not explain himself because he is not seeking permission. He is not seeking validation. He is not seeking belonging. He has become the author of his own values. While others explain themselves to fit the world, the Übermensch simply is. As Nietzsche once said, and I quote, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." But when you have your own why, you no longer need to argue with the world. You walk forward, silently, decisively. 5. Jung and the collective unconscious. Why does society punish silence? Jung offers the answer. Because the collective feels threatened by individuals who do not conform. A person who doesn't explain themselves appears unpredictable and therefore dangerous. Explanation is a ritual. It eases the anxiety of the collective unconscious. But when someone refuses to participate, the group feels challenged by a person who is no longer controlled by social validation. This is why people who follow their own path, artists, leaders, visionaries, are often accused, misunderstood, attacked. Not because they're wrong, but because they're silent. 6. The art of dignified refusal. There is a difference between silence born of fear and silence born of strength. A dignified refusal is a skill. When pressured to explain, you respond with calm simplicity. When interrogated emotionally, you maintain composure. When someone seeks drama, you deny them oxygen. The world expects noise. Silence terrifies it. A calm, "I have nothing to add," is more powerful than 1,000 defenses. People rambling nervously, typing frantic texts, recording long explanations, spiraling on social media. Right, individuals standing calmly, responding with brief statements, walking away from conflict, choosing composure over chaos. 1. The rise of social media and oversharing. Everything is public. Every thought posted. Every feeling becomes content. Privacy itself is now seen as suspicious. We've normalized broadcasting our insecurities and calling it transparency. But explaining yourself is not transparent. It is exposure. 2. Cancel culture and hyperjustification. There is no room for silence. Silence is automatically interpreted as guilt. This forces people to issue long statements, apologies, clarifications even when nothing is required. The result? We become fearful, reactive, dependent on public approval. 3. Erosion of personal authority. Authority doesn't come from long explanations. It comes from quiet consistency. The more we explain, the more we signal insecurity, and people sense it immediately. 4. Influence culture and performative identity. We have replaced authenticity with performance. Influencers explain everything because their livelihood depends on perception. Identity becomes a brand. Self becomes a spectacle. In this world, the silent person becomes incomprehensible and therefore powerful. Lao Tzu once said, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." The 4 pillars of quiet strength. 1. Cultivate inner awareness. Know your values. Know your intentions. Know your why. When you are internally anchored, you stop chasing external reassurance. 2. Practice the art of dignified refusal. Not every accusation deserves an answer. Not every question requires depth. Not every provocation deserves energy. Sometimes the strongest move is the simplest. No, I disagree. I have nothing to add. 3. Embrace the power of silence. Silence is not avoidance. It is presence. A calm, controlled silence says, "I am not moved by your expectations." It forces others to reveal themselves while you stay centered. 4. Resist the reflex to justify yourself. Before you explain anything, ask, am I speaking from clarity or insecurity? Am I trying to be understood or to be approved of? Is explanation necessary, or am I trying to manage perception? Most explanations are simply fear wearing intellectual clothing. People embody the principles. A man refusing to engage in an argument. A woman calmly leaving a heated conversation. A leader making a simple statement without elaboration. A student closing the laptop instead of arguing online. When you embrace Stoic silence and Nietzschean self-possession, you regain authority over your relationships, your public image, your emotional landscape, your sense of self-worth. People treat you differently when you stop explaining yourself. They sense something deeper, a person who cannot be manipulated. You become harder to provoke, harder to predict, harder to control. This is not arrogance, it is sovereignty. Of course, silence can become dangerous when misused. Transparency matters. In leadership, in relationships, in justice. In accountability, we do not advocate secrecy or emotional unavailability. The key distinction is this: explain yourself when it serves truth, not when it serves insecurity. Oscar Wilde said, "The truth is rarely pure and never simple. The world demands constant justification. But real power doesn't explain. It acts, it stands, it endures." The Stoics knew it. Nietzsche embodied it. Jung understood its impact on the collective psyche. But here's the final Stoic paradox. The moment you no longer need to explain yourself, people finally start listening. Because silence is not emptiness, it's authority. It's the space where your actions become louder than your defenses, and your boundaries become clearer than your words. Most people live their lives trying to be understood. The Stoic lives by something far more dangerous. Let them misunderstand. That unnerves people. It forces them to confront your strength or their insecurity. And that brings us to the real question, one I won't answer for you. If you stopped explaining yourself for 1 week, what would happen? Who would panic? Who would pull away? And who would finally respect you? Sit with that, because your answer will reveal who actually values you and who only valued your excuses. Before you go, answer this in the comments. Which kind of person are you? The one who stays quiet, or the one who speaks openly and explains everything? Your answer might reveal more than you think. If you stopped explaining yourself for 1 week, what would happen? Who would panic? Who would pull away? And who would finally respect you? Your friends, your family, acquaintances, or even your enemies? Sit with that, because your answer will reveal who actually values you and who only valued your excuses. Before you go, answer this in the comments. Which kind of person are you right now? The one who stays quiet, or the one who speaks openly and explains everything? And how has being outspoken or over-explaining affected you in your life? Your answer might reveal more than you think, not just to me, but to yourself. If this video made you see yourself more clearly, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so it reaches more people who need to hear this. And if you want more philosophy on power, silence, and self-mastery, keep watching PhiloThrone and claim your seat on the throne of your own mind. Thank you for watching. Now go practice the power of not explaining yourself.